Yo, what's up? I'm Stephen Kramer Glickman, aka Gustavo Rocque, and you're listening to WRHU.
Make it count, play it straight. Don't look back, don't hesitate. When you go big time.
88.7 FM Radio Hofstra University. My name is Jordan Elliott, and today we are sitting down with an actor, singer, comedian, and legend. He played Gustavo Rocque on one of my all-time favorite shows, Big Time Rush. Make some noise for Stephen Kramer Glickman. Stephen, how are you doing today?
I'm good, buddy. How are you?
I am doing absolutely great. Stephen, I am a huge fan. I was actually gifted a cameo of you for my 18th birthday.
No way. Get out of here.
Yeah, that was probably 2020.
Make it count, play it straight. Don't look back, don't hesitate when you've got Jordan. That is so funny, man. What a trip. What a trip. That's crazy.
Very excited to be sitting with you today. Before we get into your latest projects, I just wanted to bring up the fact that you are a huge collector of all sorts of things. I see that you're always at conventions, but I saw that your bathroom is covered wall to wall in McDonald's memorabilia. How does a person decide that they want to make their bathroom McDonald's theme? How did that get started?
First of all, I thought it'd be really cool to paint a bathroom red. Step two was deciding what would go with that. I grew up, when I was growing up, my mom worked at McDonald's most of my childhood. So I have a lot of memories of the place, and I knew some people who had access to some really rare items from the actual store. So I just thought, oh, that'd be kind of a fun thing to do. But my entire home, every room's got its own thing. Like this room, I designed to look kind of like the set of The Tonight Show. The wallpaper is looking out at downtown Los Angeles from like a high rise. Outside my window is trees. So I just thought that this was like kind of a fun way to do it.
Stephen, tell me about your stand-up. That's got to be terrifying the first few times you do it. Do you remember how your first time went?
First time I did stand-up was a little over 20 years ago. Wrote some bits, that I thought made other people laugh, that, just had made friends laugh. So I was like, well, this is going to work. I'll do it on stage. I'll try it out. My first joke was, so I was, having sex with a lady or some stupid thing. And I started to say this. I was I was having sex with some lady. And an old man at the bar said, you ain't never had no sex, you fat bastard. Like, this old man just yelled this at me. I stopped and I just went, every time my dad comes to watch me do stand-up, this is what happens. And everyone laughed, and then I got to keep going. And when I got off stage, a couple of comics were like, that was good, man. When you did that with the guy, that was great. And I was like, okay, well, maybe I've got something. Maybe I should keep doing this. And now it's 20 years of telling jokes and being a big dork on stage.
Being a big dork on stage, that's what I'm all about. Killing it in stand-up, but you're also killing it in music right now. You went viral with your cover of Crazy by Gnarls Barkley, and most recently you did a full country cover with a music video of Lil Nas X's hit song Montero. Do you have any other music projects in the works right now?
Oh, do I? You can expect something that, in the next, it's like probably about 3-4 months out. I signed a deal with a record label called Too Many Records to do a full emo rock version of Paralyzed by Big Time Rush. I'm telling you right now, Jordan, it is absolutely stellar. Like, it is the gnarliest thing I have ever worked with anybody on. I worked on it with my friend Soren, who's my guitarist. He grew up watching Big Time Rush, and he knew the assignment. I basically said to him, I was like, I want a My Chemical Romance version of Paralyzed, and I want to sing it. And he went off and made it himself with his team and his band. So it'll come out on vinyl and it'll come out online at the same time. And the goal is to make a music video for it and make something really crazy and nuts. It literally sounds like you're listening to My Chemical Romance and they covered it. Like, It's that close.
Do the BTR guys know about this?
Yeah. I had to bring it to them and go, how do you guys feel about it? They listened to it and then came back and said, you have our full support of this, like, go forward. And with covers, you don't have to get permission, like, verbally from the bands to do stuff, but for this, these are my boys, these are my baby boys. I would never want to do anything that they weren't supportive of. So when it comes to their stuff.
The original song, that is one of Big Time Rush's hardest songs, so I'm wondering if this will outdo it, if this will go even harder in the mosh pits.
I was there on the set the day that they were standing on top of that truck and doing it.
Yeah.
And there was so much energy around that song. I mean, we were like, the whole audience was, everyone was jumping around and dancing, and it just felt so good.
Do you have any other favorite BTR songs?
Halfway There is like a big moment in my life, because we taped that episode with Halfway There halfway through our first season, and we didn't know if we were getting picked up for a second season or if this was a one-off or whatever it was. So the entire crew was in tears while they were singing Halfway There, because everyone wanted it to go longer. And then thank God, it ended up going on for quite a long time.
88.7 FM Radio Hofstra University. If you are just tuning in, my name is Jordan Elliott. We are sitting down with Stephen Kramer Glickman of Big Time Rush. Let's talk a little bit more about the show BTR. Do you have any funny stories you could share from the set that you've never expressed before?
We did an episode once where Sierra Bravo had to slap me in the face. They shot it, she slaps me in the face, and it just doesn't work. They're like, all right, we need her to slap him in the face again, but this time actually slap him in the face. And so then little Sierra Bravo hits me in the face, and then they're like, no, that didn't work, can we do it again? And then she slaps me again. And then they go, no, that wasn't good enough. Can we do it again? And then again, and then again, and then again. And it was like 25 times of her slapping me in the face. And then other cast members started lining up, and then they started slapping me in the face. I think it was like 30 people waited in line to all slap me across the face. There's a lot of good memories. Kendall and I would sit at the piano in between takes, and we'd make music together, doing Broadway songs, and Carlos would come over, or James, or whatever. Like, there was a lot of like fun happening.
Do you have any other favorite celebrity cameos on the show? Like, I feel like there were so
many. Snoop Dogg was amazing. Russell Brand was like kind of a jerk to everybody on the set. Like, he wasn't like super cool. He wasn't great. But like other people were amazing. Like Jeff Ross, the roast master comedian, hilarious on the show. I played Larry, the toll booth worker, in his 1 hour special, Jeff Ross Live from New Jersey. We were all hanging out one day, and they're like, oh yeah, we want to do this episode where like they hire a roast comedian. Does anybody know anyone? And I was like, I can just call Jeff. They hired him, and he was great. He was so much fun. Bobby Lee, I'm like such a huge fan of him, and him showing up and playing the 5th member of Big Time Rush in the reality episode, I loved that. Eric Estrada, who I'm like, I grew up watching on Chips. Him showing up and playing Carlos's dad was really, really cool. Jordan Sparks was such a sweetheart. And then you'd have people just swing by the set, like Dave Keckner from Anchorman came by with his like 7 kids to like meet the guys. Bieber was around back in the day, and he was so little. He was just a kid. It was such a crazy time, man. And then on top of all of that, we were across the hallway from Dr. Phil, the entire cast of Community. So we had Donald Glover and Joel McHale, and then Glee was 2 stages over. So that cast would come and mingle with us and come and hang out and stuff.
Now, I want to get a little more serious for a second. I have seen that you've done a lot of work promoting the Green Oaks Women's Shelter. Tell me a little bit about that, and tell the listeners how they could get involved.
So my mom lives in San Diego. She boards her horse at the Green Oaks Rehab Center. And part of the thing is they get to do equine therapy and like hang out with her horse, which is awesome. The same organization is starting a women's shelter that opens on May 4th down there, and I'm going to MC the charity event for the night. I put something up on my TikTok, and so people could go to Amazon and buy them some stuff like towels and bed sheets, things like this that like a shelter would need. And it's been going really well. Like it's really sweet. I love getting involved with a good charity. So
Yeah.
if anyone wants to help, there's a link in my bio on my Instagram, my TikTok, and you can go there and you can help out with their Amazon wish list, or you can send items in the mail. There's an address to send stuff just straight to the place, and all that kind of stuff.
Finally, I see that you have been doing a lot of performances, not just by yourself, but with Party 101 with Matt Bennett of Victorious. How has that been? And is there any chance we could see you popping out to Hofstra University?
Oh, that's the hope, man. I want to come to the university so bad. Matt Bennett is just he's such a good guy. And we were talking on the phone one day, and I was like, oh, he was telling me about Party 101, and he has a DJ do an hour set to like start the night, and then he DJs for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, right? It's like a really fun show, very nostalgia show. And I was like, well, like I have a band. I'll do a bunch of nostalgia songs. I'll do some like current stuff. I'll tell stories in between the songs that are like funny stories. So people kind of get to know me better, but then also get some laughs out of the night and the whole bit. And he was like, do you want to be the first hour instead of a DJ? And I've done, I think, 8 shows with him now, and they are bananas. I mean, oh my God, it's nuts. Getting on stage and singing a Kelly Clarkson song, or Mr. Brightside, like current stuff, like doing Olivia Rodrigo on stage. The 20-something age group it just lands in a really happy place for everybody. And it makes me happy because I get to kind of show off a different side of myself to an audience. If there is a time in the future where I get to come to your amazing university and do something fun there, I will make that happen.
Hofstra, you heard him. Start flooding the Student Government Association in order to get Stephen down here. Stephen Kramer Glickman, it has been a pleasure to have you on the show. Is there anything else you want to leave the listeners with?
In school, I know there is a lot of pressure to like know what you want and what you want for the future. Just leave yourself some space. I went to school for musical theater. That's like what I have my degree in. If I had just stayed in New York and only done musical theater, I would have never ended up on Big Time Rush. And because I did Big Time Rush, I've been able to then go back to music and then do music when I want to do music stuff. And if I wanted to go back to Broadway now, it might be a lot easier than when I had just gotten out of school. So the point is, get your education, get it in the thing that you're the most passionate about, but leave yourself a little room to be able to adapt and try out other things. Life is long and fun, and there's lots of opportunity in your future. So stay the course. Stay the course.
Stephen, thank you so much. 88.7 FM Radio Hofstra University. My name is Jordan Elliott, and I'll see you next time.